You had mentioned a few minutes ago that there was an incident where one of the boys in solitary confinement sexually abused one of the other boys.
Yeah.
Is that right? Other than that one incident, were there incidents that you were aware of where there was sexual abuse? Were there any incidents that you were aware of that boys were asked to fight one another in the athletic court that was on the premises?
They had gloves for the boys to settle their differences at one time, and we had a boxing team out there.
Aside from the boxing team, though, were boys permitted to fight one another on the athletic court?
Yes.
And was that condoned by the faculty? Was that condoned by the people in charge?
Well, as long as it was supervised, and they didn't let it last too long, you know.
Was it ever done in a way that the boys were selected to fight one another instead of having an axe to grind?
No, not to my knowledge.
What kind of disagreements would result in permitting boys to fight on the athletic court?
Well, if you got two boys that just don't get along, you know, and you feel like settling the difference by putting on gloves, you know, then you, one way or the other one says, well, I've got enough, or something like that. And I think the purpose of having the gloves was to keep them from, you know, hurting each other. It's too bad.
Did they always wear gloves when they had this kind of fight?
No, they didn't have gloves every time they had a fight.
Were the other boys that were at the school permitted to come and watch the fight?
No, just it happened in the cottage where they live.
The boys from the cottage would come and watch?
Not other cottages, huh?
Just the cottage from which the boys were?
That's what I know about it.
Okay. And there would be somebody from the staff that would be there as well?
House leader.
Were any of the boys ever injured as a result of one of these fights?
I would imagine so. I don't remember.
Okay. Aside from spanking boys, did you ever have other type of physical contact as part of the punishment of the boys?
No.
Did you ever punch any of them in the face?
No.
Did you ever stomp on any of their feet?
No.
Never.
Never.
Did you ever have sexual contact with any of the boys? You never forced any boys to have oral sex, perform oral sex on you?
No.
Objecting form, argumentative, and I've not seen any allegation of that, and I hope you have a factual background to ask him that question.
Yeah. I want to have this marked as the next exhibit, which will be Exhibit H. I'm going to hand you Exhibit H. Do you recognize that boy?
No.
Does the name John Patterson Jr. ring any bells for you?
I had a lot of boys to, you know, come in contact with from time to time, but I don't remember him. A lot of them probably, you know, I don't remember, but just a few that I kind of stand out in my mind.
A few boys during the entire time that you were there that stand out in your mind?
Well, one in particular is the bugle boy.
Bugle boy?
Bugle every morning, 5 to 6, and the boys would get up, make their beds, and go get dressed, and then do the jobs. And then I'm not sure, he might have worked in the OP office there, observing planes coming over and keeping a record of them. He's one of the boys that didn't get in, as I remember, trouble.
What was his
while he was
name?
there. Huh?
What was his name?
I believe his name was Giddens. I'm not positive on that, but that's what comes to mind right now.
Giddens? Giddens? Any other boys that you can remember by name?
Let's see. One, I believe his name was Edward Green.
And who was Edward
He
Green?
was, pardon?
Who was he? Do you know where he was from, why he was
Oh,
there?
no, I don't remember that. But he, while at the school, attended school at Chipola or something, until he got involved with a little girl up there, and he ran away, and when he came back, he didn't run anymore. He made his grades and rank and went home.
He ran away from the school? He ran away from the school?
Yeah.
And approximately what time frame was Edward Green in the area?
What time frame was he there?
Yes, sir.
I can't tell you that.
Was it when you were a supervisor?
I can't remember that well about that situation. When he ran, I was the one that picked him up near the bridge that you cross over to Bristol. And I took him back and turned him over to the house leader. And I don't know, evidently I wasn't the supervisor then, but I turned him over to the house leader and letting him, they were having lunch when I took him back to the campus. But,
Did you spank him?
no, I didn't. I wasn't the supervisor then. I'm pretty sure I wasn't because of me turning him into the house leader.
Do you know if he got a spanking?
I don't even know if he got a spanking or not.
Any other boys that you can remember by name?
Earl King for one. And the reason I remember him was I was having a cup of coffee out here at McDonald's one day, and he came through. He and somebody was with him. I think he was driving a truck. Came in there and we was having a sandwich, and he came over and spoke to me, and I think my son was with him the day that he did that.
Have any other?
Just, some of the, you just don't remember all of them, but just a few that you kind of stand out in your mind. What?
Yes, sir. I think that we have to take a break because the tape is running near the end. We'll take a break for a few minutes and then finish up. Thank you, sir.
We're back on the record.